Yeah, let's talk about... Ooh. Hey everyone, it's Anna, and I'm back with another vintage cookbook. This time I'm going to be reviewing, for variety, Cook with Ketchup. This booklet was published in 1958 by the H.J. Heinz Company. One of the first things I noticed about this booklet is this casserole dish, because I have this casserole dish. I have several pieces of this blue, I think it's like corn flour. Let me just look that up. Yeah, it's corn flour. These were gifted to me by both my mother-in-law and my dear friend Caitlin. Thank you both. So that was the thing that really automatically drew me to this little guy. This booklet begins by saying, it's red magic. Ketchup is red magic, apparently. Let me just read the opening paragraph here. The news travels fast. Smart homemakers everywhere are talking about the flavor found and the time and money saved when they cook with ketchup. Are they really? Is this really a topic of conversation? Is Doris calling Peggy and being like, Peggy, no time for gossip. We gotta talk about ketchup. Ketchup is sweeping the nation. Let's see what else it says here. Instead of asking, will you pass the ketchup, please? They want to know, have you tried adding ketchup to your onion dip? Even, have you ever tried that ketchup cake everyone is talking about? I have seen the ketchup cake. I have not tasted the ketchup cake, but I hear that it tastes a lot like a spice cake. I was tempted to make it, but decided against it in favor of something else. Cooking with ketchup is fast becoming a national habit. The ketchup epidemic. They do go on to talk about the newest flavor of ketchup, which is hot ketchup. That's something I'd like to try. I think it exists. I don't know if it's existed consistently since 1958 or it's sort of like gone off the market and come back, but I do think I've seen something like that. So interested in the hot ketchup. Let's take a look at the recipes in this booklet. Mozzarella meat whirl. It looks sort of like a meatloaf jelly roll cake. It's beef, veal, pork, so kind of like a meatloafy start there. Breadcrumbs, eggs, mustard, salt, pepper, mozzarella, parsley, ketchup, water, and then Worcestershire sauce. I wish there was an actual illustration or an actual photo of this rather than just this. I don't think there is, but I'd love to see the finished product on this. Again, the dish makes an appearance, this little blue corn flour guy. I also thought about cooking the chicken cacciatore recipe just because I have this dish and I thought it would be fun to display it in the same way. This booklet does have some pretty cute illustrations. I mean, I absolutely love these little tomatoes and vegetables that are having a little dance, having a good time. Let's do a Jell-O mold count. Oh, here we go. Aspic alerts. We have a tomato aspic recipe right under the very cute tomato illustration. So that's one. We have something called a mushroom rice ring. I'm not going to count that. It doesn't have any gelatin in it, but it looks like you use a Jell-O mold. So this one consists of onion, butter, mushrooms, ketchup, cooked rice, salt and paprika, and then you just kind of like pack that into a mold. I love mushrooms, so I might actually try that one. So far, just the one gelatin mold, though. Let me take a look here. Found another one. We have the spring salad mold. Unflavored gelatin, cold water, boiling water, lemon juice, a half a cup of ketchup, Heinz tomato ketchup specifically, garlic salt, cabbage, cucumber, celery, olives, green pepper, and sliced onions. A lot of those ingredients sound pretty good if you subtract the Jell-O portion. Then you just have a big pile of vegetables. So that's two gelatin molds. I had to. I think that's it. I think we just have the 2 gelatin molds. Not too bad. It's okay. Oh, there was one more really funny illustration that I wanted to share. It's this little shrimp in a hammock. He's chilling, relaxing. It's like the epitome of summer for this shrimp. It seems like this might have been like a promotional item. Maybe you were supposed to send away for it. It's written, it just says Heinz home economics department, I noticed with a lot of these little tiny booklets that it generally just says that and not an actual person. No Mary Blake here. There's a pretty good variety of appetizers, main dishes, and there's an entire section just on baked goods. And that's where I got today's recipe. Today, I will be preparing gooey buns. We're lucky enough that there is an actual photo of the gooey buns that I will be making today in this booklet. So it's right here. These are the gooey buns. Let's take a look at a couple of the other baked goods in this section. There's a pineapple upside down cake. How do you use the ketchup in this though? It's like in the actual cake. It's just a small amount. It's 1/3 of a cup for an entire cake. I'd like to know how much actual ketchup flavor that adds. The buns recipe also has 1/3 of a cup of ketchup, but it's not in the dough itself. It's sort of in the filling. Very interesting to see how ketchupy these turn out to be. Other baked goods, we have apricot date bread, this one right here. And what else? We have a spice nut cake, which I did, again, think about making. We have another recipe called Tasty Bread. It's on the back cover, so I think it's this one right here. It's like garlic bread with tomato ketchup. There's a barbecue sauce recipe, and then there's something called spicy apples. This is the spicy apple. But the illustration on that is pretty cute too. So we've got a cute row of spicy apples. It's like baked apples with ketchup and sugar on top. I haven't really gotten into baked goods in these cookbooks yet, so I'm excited to try this. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I love cinnamon rolls, so I thought maybe this would be a little bit like cinnamon rolls, but the fact that the ketchup is in the filling, I just don't know. Let's go. Looking at this recipe, it's not the easiest to read. At least the ingredients list isn't. If you have more than one component to a recipe, in this case, the actual dough and then the actual filling, you would find those in 2 separate sections. So it would have like filling and then the ingredients and then dough or whatever. In this case, they're all just kind of pushed together. And so I really had to make absolutely sure that I had the ingredients measured for each one or the ingredients set out for each one. So that's kind of why I have them so separate right now, because we have, brown sugar in both the dough and the filling and some other ingredients like butter. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't mixing any of that up. It looks like first we are combining the butter and the sugar and then dropping it into some greased muffin cups. I am only going to make half a recipe today. Again, the full recipe makes 16. I think 8 is probably enough. Yes, that was a TV show in the 70s with Dick Van Patten. So we are going to mix this melted butter with sugar. So I've got my white sugar right here. I'm going to stir that. And then you spoon this into the muffin cups. So that's kind of like what I'm guessing is more of a caramelized topping. So I'll try to do that as evenly as possible. Why don't I just pull this toward me? I don't understand myself sometimes. Okay, I need to redistribute this. And then I'm just gonna kind of spread these out in the bottom so that it's evenly covered. I'm gonna steal a little from this one to put over here. All right, now it looks like we are gonna start making the dough. Combine a cup of this baking mix, which baking mix is something that I really just don't buy. I wonder if I can make waffles out of this. Yes, right in front, it says waffles. Combined biscuit mix. I'm having some trouble today. We need a cup of this mix. Oh, okay, I'm already making a mess, but that's fine. It's to be expected in baking. All right, that's a cup, so I'll toss that in here. Next, it says to add the sugar. This was another thing I noticed about this recipe. It called both white sugar and brown sugar just sugar. So I am going according to the order that the ingredients are listed in, and I hope I'm getting it right. Now I'm kind of second guessing myself because it almost makes more sense to have had the white sugar in the mix. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Throw the sugar in here. So the biscuit mix, the sugar, and then this milk. No hand mixer today. This is making a really wet dough, which makes me nervous because I'm supposed to roll this out. This is like thick cake batter. It's not like bread dough at all. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to like roll it out and roll it up like a roll. I said roll a lot. I wanna read through this again just to make sure I'm getting it right. This is impossible. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's like, it's not solid like a bread dough, like a biscuit dough or anything. Oh gosh, I think I'm gonna try to add a little bit more baking mix. And if that doesn't work, I'm probably going to have to improvise a little bit. Just add another spoonful or so. Gosh, we're already making mistakes over here. I'm already having a hard time. Okay, this is shaping up a little better. I'm feeling slightly more confident. I think I just didn't put enough baking mix into the measuring cup because this is looking a lot more like dough. It's still a little on the soft side though. If you know what bread dough looks like, it's not that. Or if you're making banana bread, like a quick bread, it kind of looks like that. There's like no way I'm gonna be able to roll this. Okay, we're gonna add a little more. I might be overdoing it, but I just don't see another way. Here we go. This is more like dough, like bread dough. They may be a little bit tough and dry when I'm done, but I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah. So this is definitely, it's still sticky, but it's like forming a ball. Ooh. But how am I gonna get 8 rolls out of this? Did I read this correctly? Okay. I don't believe it. Who wrote this? My next step is to roll this out as you would for cinnamon rolls. If I was making a full batch, I would roll it out in a rectangle 16 inches by 7 inches, but I'm only doing half a batch, so I'm going to do 8 inches by 7 inches. That is if I can get this to roll out. Normally I would sprinkle a little bit of flour on my surface when I'm making bread or rolls or something. I guess I'm just gonna sprinkle some of the baking mix itself here. See how this works. This might be a fail. Not like an expert at baking, but I've done a fair amount. And this just doesn't look like it's gonna work. It's a little sticky yet. I think yeast dough is actually easier than this. I don't wanna apply a ton of pressure because it's gonna stick to the counter. I had to add what seemed like quite a bit more baking mix to get this to come together. Oh, it is so soft. Oh, oh my gosh. All right, I'm starting over. I tried these recipes so you don't have to. I guess I'm just not gonna flip it because I cannot pick it up. I think I'm gonna get like a bench scraper. All right, here we go, let's start over. I really wanna pick this up and like flip it and stuff, but I can't. I'm supposed to roll this to 1/4 of an inch too. Like, who did this? Who made this recipe? Let me measure and see what I even have right now. Okay, so I can actually make that a little more compact. Oh, I hate this so much, you guys. Oh, okay. So we have the width, I just need the length. Oh, I'm almost there. How in the heck is this little square of dough going to fill that many muffin cups? Okay, we made it. We are now 8 by 7. I'm going to try to kind of like gently scrape this up so that I don't get them all filled and then I just can't get them off of this counter. Just make a yeast dough. Don't do this to yourself. Working with a biscuit mix should not be delicate work like this. Oh my God, it's cracking. Cracking. I don't know if we're gonna have gooey buns today, guys. I feel like I need a break after that. Oh shoot. Okay, so let's see what's next. Oh geez, look at this. It's time to spread this with butter and ketchup. So I have some soft butter, we're gonna start there, and then we'll do ketchup. An offset spatula is great for stuff like this. This 9-inch one I use for all kinds of things. Let's pray, everybody. Let us pray. This had better be like so delicious. Oh my God. I'm cursing the name of the Heinz Home Economics Department right now. Dottie, I'm gonna need some snuggles after this, okay? I just like gouged another hole kind of in this. I'm trying to repair it. It's ketchup time. Oh, shoot. Come on. Okay, so that is about right for half of the amount. Spread butter and ketchup. Okay. Oh. I can't believe I'm putting ketchup on this right now. This looks so weird. Has anybody in your family made this? Have you made this? Like, I need advice. Nope, got to get all that ketchup in there. So next we sprinkle with a mixture of brown sugar, cinnamon, and raisins. So I have my little container of brown sugar right there. We're gonna put our cinnamon and our raisins in there. And I'm just gonna mix this with my hands because I'm gonna sprinkle it with my hands anyway. I sincerely hope that the audio on this is good, that it's still recording, that nothing weird happens because I'm never making this again. Okay, we're sprinkling. We're sprinkling brown sugar, cinnamon, and raisins. Like, that combination sounds excellent. I like all of those things. I mean, truly, everything in this recipe sounds good, except the fact that there's ketchup in the filling. We are adding quite a bit of sugar, so it probably sort of cancels out some of the vinegary ketchup taste. I mean, I like vinegar and I like ketchup, but oh gosh, I love that cinnamon smell. I'm like a cinnamon fiend. Cinnamon and ketchup. Do not know. All right, we have all of our ingredients together. We have the filling spread out on top. And now I have to attempt to roll it. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I think I'm gonna try to coax it a little bit with this plastic bench scraper. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm gonna get like so messy. I'm doing it, but like I have to be so gentle with this. Like I'm not making like pastry dough or something here. I'm making something with like baking mix. This should not be hard. Okay, we got a little bit of a ketchup spill here. All right, hold on. I gotta wash my hands. I'm back. I took a few deep breaths, calmed myself down a little bit, and now we get to cut these. So I'm gonna measure. Oh, they ended up being like a little bit longer than 8 inches. So we'll just work it out. When you're making things like cinnamon rolls, you can use like dental floss to cut them if you want to. I'm gonna try to use this very sharp little boning knife. I'm gonna start in the middle since we're going for like 8 of these. I pushed a couple of these raisins out, so let's pop those back in there. All right, I'm gonna eyeball it now. Oh my Lord. I know I keep saying that, like I cannot help it. This is the most ridiculous recipe. I'm gonna try to be really careful about this with the help of my spatula, my offset spatula. I think these are just gonna fall apart if I try to pick them up. These look so bad. I cannot wait to see what these look like coming out of the oven. Just have a bad feeling. One thing I'll say for Mary Blake, the 2 recipes of hers that I tried, whether or not she's real, were really good. I need you, Mary. This is what we got. They are not attractive, so they'd better be absolutely delicious. I have to go ahead and bake these for 15 to 17 minutes. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take a little break, take a little breather, and I guess we'll see. Dottie, look. I got you a crispy apple treat. Is it acceptable? I think it's acceptable. Oh, maybe. Yes. Coming in for the scritches? Yeah. All right, goodbye. Here's what we've got, fresh from the oven. I will say I got a little whiff of the ketchup essence when I took them out of the oven. Now I am supposed to invert them on a rack and let them cool. And the topping is supposed to like run off of them or run down. So I put a little cutting board underneath this just to try to prevent too big of a mess. So let's take care of that, and then I gotta let them cool before I can taste them. I'm gonna try to help it along with this little, oh, okay, with my little spatula. They are coming out like super easily. Okay. It's like the easiest thing I've done through this entire recipe. Or maybe I spoke too soon. Nope, here we go. It's doing it. Oh shoot, I don't wanna just like dump these out. So I must have done an excellent job greasing these because they're just coming right out. They don't look terrible, but they're definitely not as pretty as like your typical cinnamon roll would be. Whoa, good save. Yeah, there's not like a lot of topping running off of these either. This is what we got. We're gonna let these cool for a while and then I'll come back and do a taste test. I think these are cool enough to try. If you compare the photo of the Gooey Buns here and the Gooey Buns themselves, I would say that's a pretty good match. I think they turned out the way that they were supposed to in terms of looks. Taste, that's what we're gonna do next, is give it a try. I think I'm going to just like cut one of these down the center and see. It is a little bit crispy on the outside, which gives me a little bit of hesitation, but it could just be the caramelized sugar. Oh no, this is tough. Oh no. They just like fell apart. There's definitely like a distinctly ketchup-y scent to them. Yeah, okay. Here goes. Oh. As you can see, that fell completely apart when I bit into it. It's very crumbly. That could be due to the fact that I had to add more biscuit mix in order to make it into more of a dough that you could manipulate. I'm definitely getting a little taste of ketchup there. I wouldn't say that these taste bad necessarily. I'm just not sure if they were worth the amount of work that I did to try to get them into the right shape, especially because they're just falling apart. I would give these a solid okay. I'm not sure if I fed these to someone, if they would automatically know that there's ketchup in them. Maybe I'm just experiencing that flavor because I know what's in the filling. That was challenging, but we did it. We cooked a recipe from 4 Variety Cook with Ketchup. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I just love doing these. They're so much fun. I love making weird recipes, even though sometimes it seems like I'm gonna fall apart. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.